Here, this map is gonna be your guide to North Shore. Now, where you sit in the cafeteria is crucial because you got everybody there. You got your freshmen, ROTC guys, preps, JV jocks, Asian nerds, cool Asians, varsity jocks, unfriendly black hotties, girls who eat their feelings, girls who don't eat anything, desperate wannabes, the greatest people you will ever meet, and the worst. Beware of the plastic.
In every single cliche high school movie out there, there's always those typical stereotypes that label each student in a different way. You got your jocks, nerds, cheerleaders, geeks, and so many others. But what those movies never show are the real lives of students and how each and every one of them aren't just defined by one single label. There's so much more than that. Being an athlete isn't just about making the basket or getting a home run. Being an athlete means working countless hours a week in order to get better. Being an athlete means pushing yourself to your breaking point every time you play. Athletes give everything they can while also fighting to get good grades. An athlete's life is constantly a challenge, but athletes persevere.
What do you think you're doing? Biff. Hey, I'm talking to you, McFly, you Irish bug.
Oh, hey, Biff. Hey, guys. How are you doing?
Yeah, you got my homework finished, McFly?
Well, actually, I figured since it wasn't due till Monday.
Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think, McFly, think. I gotta have time to recopy it. You realize what would happen if I hand in my homework in your handwriting? I'll get kicked out of school. You wouldn't want that to happen, would you? Would you?
Well, now, of course not,
No,
Biff. I wouldn't
no.
want that to happen.
What are you looking at, butthead?
Hey, Biff, get hold of this guy's life preserver. Dork thinks he's gonna drown.
Yeah. So, how about my homework, McFly?
Okay, Biff. Well, I'll finish that on up tonight, and then I'll bring it over first thing tomorrow morning.
Hey, not too early. I sleep in Sundays. Oh, McFly, your shoes untied. Don't be so gullible, McFly.
Okay.
I don't want to see you in here again.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
In popular culture, this dumb jock stereotype is constantly being reinforced by how films and television represent athletes. These are just some of the many examples in which society is placing negative connotations on student athletes. A large majority of student athletes are very intelligent and do well in school, despite all the time and effort it takes to be involved in a sport. Many studies have shown different profiles on students who are athletes and who are full-time students. These studies basically state that it is nearly impossible for a student athlete to be successful as a team player and earn straight A's. Wanting to prove that statement wrong, we went out and picked a few students around Plano and the DFW area who all participate in a sport and who take their time to earn good grades. We interviewed each person and asked them questions regarding their personal lives, with the sport they play, as well as what their academic schedule was like. They expressed their love for being able to enjoy the sport they're passionate about and their goal of receiving a scholarship for both academic and athletic talent.
When many people think of athletes, they think of kids who aren't intelligent and only devote their time to sports. Just because you can dribble a basketball doesn't mean you can't get 100 on a test. What? Smart jocks exist? Indeed they do, and if you don't believe us, check out these amazing high school athletes who have managed to keep a good GPA, volunteer in the community, participate in clubs, and still be outstanding athletes.
Hi, my name is Rodney. I'm a junior at Plano Senior, and I play basketball, and I'm a point guard.
Hi, I'm Steffi. I run track for Plano Senior High School. I run the varsity 800, 400 meters, and I pole vault.
My name is Chimdi Maduka, and I have a GPA of 3.7.
I'm in 11th grade, and I play volleyball for Summit Nitro, and I'm an outside hitter.
Hi, my name is Bryce Johnson, and I play soccer for Liverpool and Plano Senior Soccer.
My name is Isaac Ijator. I play basketball and I do track and field.
I'm Anna Wicker, and I'm the co-captain for the Plano varsity cheer team.
My name is Gustavo Rodriguez. I'm a senior at Plano Senior High School and I play baseball.
One of the students at Plano Senior who we interviewed goes by the name Rodney Belcher, who has been a passionate basketball player since 2005. Belcher plays as a guard on the Plano Senior varsity basketball team. He is in the top 11th percentile at Plano Senior High School, which is an ample proof of his great academic ability. Belcher is a student athlete who has had to fight against the jock stereotype and has had ample experience handling both schoolwork and sports.
Well, I played basketball since I was a kid, and my dad's a basketball coach, so I have grown up in a basketball household, so I love to play basketball.
Do you think being an athlete has impacted your grades?
Yes, it has taught me how to have a hard work ethic, and that has led to me getting my homework done on time and doing good with it.
Studies found by Fitzlin Gorman showed how sport participation was associated with higher GPAs, lower dropout rates, and stronger commitments to school compared to the average non-athlete high school student. Gorman wrote on how students who participated in sports did 10% better in science, English, math, and social studies compared to other students. Another student who proves the stereotype wrong is Bryce Johnson, who has been an avid soccer player since he was a little kid. Johnson plays on this Plano Senior varsity boys soccer team and for Liverpool. He is a bright student who maintains a straight A average in all of his classes, as well as being involved in multiple after-school activities and clubs. His viewpoint on how he finds a balance between playing soccer, volunteering, and earning good grades shows how it's possible to do it all. What position do you play?
I play center defensive midfielder.
And what would you say motivates you to play soccer?
I love playing soccer, and I always want to continue getting better, and I'm hoping to get a scholarship so I can play in college.
Are there any stories you have about playing soccer?
In 8th grade, I transferred to Lone Star High School so that I could devote more time towards soccer.
Female athletes, as shown in multiple studies, exhibit an abnormally high intelligence. Anna Wicker is no exception. Anna is one of the new varsity co-captains for Plano Cheer and is in the top 10% of the junior class. Being an athlete takes up a large amount of time, but Anna still manages to be a prominent member of the community who has a job and all the while maintains all A's.
I don't think being an athlete has impacted my grades because I've been able to juggle doing schoolwork and participating in cheer year-round, and also juggling outside things like church and other clubs.
Either you're an athlete or you're not an athlete. Actually, I am. I'm an athlete. I just don't like to get caught up in all that stuff. I think it's superficial. You know, football heroes, cheerleaders, and parties. I mean, I'd be willing to play football if all that other junk didn't go along with it.
Just like the movie clip we just saw, there are many negative stereotypes associated with athletes. When people think of a jock, they think of outrageous parties, irresponsibility, and someone who does not have any academic goals. However, many of student athletes we interviewed actively participate in school and are active in their communities.
I recently got accepted into RILA, which is a youth leadership club, and it is run by the Rotary Clubs.
I volunteer at St. Catherine's Hospice, and this past Christmas I also volunteered at the homeless shelter.
At school, I'm in NHS and student council, and then outside of school, I ride horses, and I'm also a lifeguard at the Plano Aquatic Center.
Involved in choir, I'm involved in United Nations, and I volunteer at the Bridge Homeless Shelter.
I'm in NHS, HOSTA, I volunteer for the SPCA, and I play the piano.
I'm involved in my church choir, and I do NHS, and I also have a job.
Steffi Jones, the 2015 Plano Track sophomore team captain, is a great example of a student who keeps up with her academics as well as her track team. Jones is a hardworking student and an amazing runner. Jones has been involved in track and field since she was a young girl, and holding a spot in the top 10 percentile, she has obviously learned to handle both school and athletics. Jones reveals that although it is difficult to handle both school and sports, it has only helped her to become a better student.
I'm motivated for scholarships and being a better athlete and staying in shape.
Do you think being an athlete has impacted your grades?
Yeah, I'd say being an athlete has pushed me to do better in both sports and in school.
What other activities are you involved in?
I'm in student congress.
Chimdi Maduka plays on the varsity basketball team at Sashi High School. He's not only a great athlete, but makes good grades and holds a healthy GPA of a 3.7. Additionally, he is active in his community and school.
Has playing helped you?
Yeah, it has. It's kept me in shape and focused, and now whenever I set a goal, I know that how to achieve it and taking steps to do that.
Are there any stories you have about playing sports?
When I first started playing basketball, I had a coach named Coach Guerin, and whenever we would be running suicides, I remember every time we ran suicides, I would always want to quit basketball, and he made me want to quit basketball a couple times, but I'm just glad that I didn't, and it's made me a better person today.
Isaac Ihijader is a double threat as he participates in both basketball and track and field at North Garland High School. Although he spends a lot of his time either practicing or playing, he still manages to keep up a good GPA of a 3.5. He makes sure to take time to do what is important, and being an athlete has only helped him.
What motivates me to play is just staying in shape and the sports itself, because I enjoy playing the sports.
Do you think being an athlete has impacted your grades?
Yeah, it's heavily impacted my grades. In the beginning, it was actually quite hard for me because I had to balance the two. But later on, it actually made me work harder so I can make sure that my grades won't affect my playing status. So it made my grades go actually higher.
How has playing helped you?
Playing has helped me by not only keeping up with my grades, but keeping me up physically and my self-esteem, because I used to have low self-esteem. But playing helped me meet other people, create friends, and just bring me up.
While there are many athletes who push themselves to succeed at both school and athletics, some students are yet to master the difficult task. Gustavo Rodriguez is an all-star athlete, but falls short when it comes to achieving his academic goals.
I feel that balancing school and baseball is hard and it hurts my grades.
But that's not the case for everyone. Most student athletes are able to balance school and their sport and succeed in both. And there are even some who push themselves past just succeeding and excelling. Megan Lafferty is a club volleyball player pushing herself to practice as much as she can and still manage to get a 3.99 GPA.
How has playing helped you?
Being on a team really helped me learn how to cooperate with other people through the teamwork on a team sport. And then also it helps you to make a lot more friends.
I don't believe in that stereotype. I myself break that. It's funny because in most cases it's not true, and I know a lot of athletes that are also good at their sports and that are also actually very smart.
I personally don't believe in it because I don't see myself as a dumb jock.
I think it's actually quite ignorant because I've seen many athletes go even to Ivy League schools. Not for sports, but actually academic reasons as well. And they play sports throughout their whole lives. So yeah, it's a really ignorant statement.
I don't believe in it because I think you can find a good balance between getting good grades and playing a sport.
It can be accurate, but it's not always true.
Looking back on all of the lives of not only the students we interviewed, but also the many other student athletes in the world, it's clear that it is possible to be committed to a sport while also earning good grades. We're all told to not judge a book by its cover, but as humans, studies say it only takes 7 seconds for us to judge someone right when we meet them. Walking down the halls at school, it's easy to take one glance at a person and immediately make a judgment about them just by the looks of them. But it's important to know that we shouldn't jump to conclusions about a person just because they play a sport. You can also be devoted to your studies. So many people in the world prove the dumb jock stereotype wrong. Everyone is capable to participate in a sport they love playing, as well as fulfilling the responsibilities of working hard in each of their classes in order to obtain good grades.
Division I student athletes have higher SAT and ACT scores than college-bound students.
The number of us receiving diplomas
is at an all-time high.
African American males who are student athletes
are 10% more likely to graduate.
Still think we're just a bunch of dumb jocks?
You need to do your homework.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.